Listen to me closely, because I am about to slap the mediocrity right out of your skull. Put down your phone, stop scrolling through the endless void of cheap dopamine, and look at the ceiling. Just look at it. That ceiling is the lid of the jar you are trapped in. You are a rat. A frantic, scurrying, terrified little rat, running in a maze designed by people who view you as nothing more than a battery, a source of energy to power their yachts and their empires while you fight over crumbs. Today we are going to talk about money, but not in the way your broke uncle or that liar on television talks about money. We are talking about the seed, the $1,000. Most of you look at $1,000 and you see a new phone. You see a weekend getaway to Miami where you pretend to be somebody you are not. You see a down payment on a car you cannot afford to impress people who do not care if you live or die. That is why you are poor. That is why you are a slave, because you look at capital and you see consumption. You eat the seeds instead of planting the crop. I want you to visualize a Friday night. You just got paid. The direct deposit hit your account, and for a fleeting, pathetic moment, you feel rich. You have $1,000 of disposable income. What happens? The programming kicks in. The matrix downloads a command directly into your brainstem. You go out, you buy the rounds of drinks. You pay for the overpriced steak with the gold leaf on it, which is the ultimate symbol of the idiot consumer eating metal to feel valuable. You buy the designer sneakers that were made in a sweatshop for $2 but sold to you for $800 because you are desperate for status. By Monday morning, that $1,000 is gone. It has evaporated into the ether of the system, transferred from your pocket to the pockets of the shareholders of LVMH and Diageo and Apple. And you are back to zero. You are back in the cage, waiting for the pellet dispenser to click again in 2 weeks. This is the cycle of the premium poor. You have a lease on a BMW, you have a closet full of clothes, you have a subscription to every streaming service known to man, but you have zero net worth. You are a financial hallucination. You look wealthy, but if you missed 3 paychecks, you would be homeless. Now let us strip away the illusions. Let us look at the cold, hard, brutal mathematics of the system. The banks, the government, the credit card companies, they rely on your financial illiteracy. They need you to be bad at math. If you take that $1,000 and you put it in a savings account at a traditional bank, they are going to pay you 0.01% interest. Meanwhile, inflation is running at 3, 4, maybe 7% in the real world, not the fake numbers the government feeds you. That means every single day you leave that money in the bank, it is rotting. It is shrinking. You are losing purchasing power. The bank takes your $1,000, they leverage it out 10 to 1, they lend it to a real estate developer or a business owner at 8%, and they pocket the difference. They are getting rich off your fear. You are the cattle, they are the ranchers. They milk you for liquidity and then slaughter you with inflation. So, the question is, how do you take that $1,000 and turn it into $10,000 without magic, without gambling on some meme coin that has a picture of a dog on it, and without waiting 40 years for compound interest to kick in? Because let's be honest, the gurus who tell you to invest $1,000 in the S&P 500 and wait 40 years are laughing at you. 7% a year on $1,000 is $70. $70. You cannot buy your freedom with $70 a year. That is slow lane mathematics. That is advice for people who want to be rich when they are 80 years old and wearing diapers. We want sovereignty now. We want to break the chains while we still have the energy to enjoy the sunlight, To turn 1,000 into 10,000, you have to stop acting like an investor and start acting like a producer. You need velocity. You need active income, not passive income. Passive income is a lie sold to lazy people. Wealth is built through active, aggressive, obsessive execution. There are 3 main paths to do this, and none of them are easy, which is why 99% of you will tune out and go back to watching cat videos. The first path is arbitrage. This is the oldest hustle in the book, and it still works because people are lazy and inefficient. You take your $1,000 and you do not buy stocks. You buy inventory. You become a hunter. You go to garage sales, estate sales, liquidation auctions. You find the items that are undervalued because the person selling them is desperate or ignorant. You find the vintage electronics, the solid wood furniture, the limited edition sneakers. You buy them for $50. You clean them up. You take professional photographs. And I mean professional, not some blurry garbage with your dirty laundry in the background. And you list them on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, Mercari. You buy for $50, you sell for $200. That is a 300% return on investment in a week. Wall Street cannot give you that. Only hustle can give you that. You do that again and again. You turn 1,000 into 2,000, 2,000 into 4,000. It requires you to get your hands dirty. It requires you to learn what things are worth. It requires you to step out of the air-conditioned comfort of your office job mentally and enter the bazaar, the street market. The second path is service arbitrage, or what I like to call the sweat equity multiplier. You take that $1,000 and you buy equipment. You do not buy toys. You buy tools. You buy a high-end pressure washer. You buy a window cleaning kit. You buy a lawn aerator. You buy detailing supplies for cars. Then you go out and you knock on doors. I know the very thought of knocking on a door terrifies you. You are scared of rejection. You are scared someone will look at you and think you are the help. Good, let them think that. While they are sitting in their houses drowning in debt, you are outside collecting cash. You charge $200 to power wash a driveway. It takes you 2 hours. That is $100 an hour. That is more than your middle manager makes to sit in Zoom meetings and talk about synergy. You do that every weekend. You reinvest every penny. You hire a kid to help you. Now you are not just a laborer. You are a business owner. You are scaling. This is how you turn 1,000 into 10,000. You trade sweat and a small capital investment for high-velocity cash flow. The third path, and this is the one, for those of you who think you are too smart for manual labor, is skill acquisition. But I am not talking about a college degree. I am talking about lethal, market-ready skills. You take that $1,000 and you buy a course, a mentorship, or a coaching program on high-ticket sales, copywriting, or digital marketing. But here is the catch. Most of you buy the course and never open it. You treat education like entertainment. You get a dopamine hit from buying the book, but you never read it. To turn that investment into 10,000, you have to become obsessed. You learn how to write words that sell. You learn how to close deals on the phone. Then you go to businesses that are already making money but are leaving cash on the table. You say, I will write your emails for you. If you make money, pay me. If you don't, pay me nothing. You use your $1,000 education to generate value for someone else, and you take a cut. A 10% commission on a $100,000 deal is $10,000. One deal, one phone call. That is the power of leverage. But you know why you won't do it? Because of the ego. The ego is the heaviest chain you wear. You are worried about what people will think if they see you flipping furniture or washing driveways. You want to be the CEO before you have made a single dollar of profit. You want the business cards, the website, the LLC, the logo. You spend your $1,000 on branding for a business that doesn't exist. That is the behavior of a rat. A rat cares about appearance. A sovereign mind cares about results. The premium poor are obsessed with looking rich. The truly wealthy are obsessed with becoming free. Let me tell you about a guy named Brad. Brad is a composite of every mediocre middle management type I have ever met. Brad has a job making $60,000 a year. He gets a $1,000 bonus. Brad thinks he deserves a treat. He buys a watch. It's not a Rolex. It's some mid-tier garbage that loses 50% of its value the moment he puts it on. He wears it to happy hour. He feels good. 2 weeks later, his car breaks down. He doesn't have the cash to fix it because he spent it on the watch. He puts the repair on a credit card at 20 to 2% interest. Now he is paying interest on a mechanic bill while wearing a watch that nobody notices. Brad is a slave. Brad is digging his own grave with a silver spoon. Don't be Brad. Now look at Sarah. Sarah is a savage. She gets $1,000. She feels nothing. No excitement, no urge to spend. She sees it as soldiers. She has 1,000 little soldiers ready to go to war for her. She goes on Craigslist. She finds a beat-up sectional sofa being given away for free or sold for $50 because the owner is moving and is too lazy to move it. Sarah rents a truck for $40. She buys a steam cleaner for $150. She cleans the couch. It looks brand new. She takes photos in good lighting. She sells it for $600. She does this 3 times in a month. She has turned her initial investment and effort into $2,000. She doesn't stop. She buys better equipment. She hires a helper. 6 months later, Sarah has $10,000 in the bank and a side business generating cash flow every week. Sarah is escaping the matrix. Sarah understands that money is not for buying things. Money is for buying freedom. You have to understand the mathematics of opportunity cost. When you spend $1,000 on a television, you are not just spending $1,000. You are spending the $10,000 that money could have become if you had deployed it correctly. You are spending the freedom that $10,000 could have bought you. You are literally burning your future to warm up your present. It is financial suicide disguised as retail therapy. The system loves it. They want you comfortable, sedated, and broke. They want you to have just enough stuff to be afraid of losing it, but not enough money to walk away from your job. That is the sweet spot for them. That is the golden handcuffs. And do not get me started on the get-rich-quick schemes. The sports betting apps. These are taxes on stupidity. They are mathematically designed to drain you. The house always wins. Always. If you think you are the exception, you are the perfect victim. The only way to turn 1,000 into 10,000 is to become the house, to become the seller, not the buyer, to become the producer, not the consumer, to take control of the variables rather than hoping for a lucky roll of the dice. This requires a mental shift that is painful. It requires you to kill the part of you that wants to fit in. You have to be willing to look broke to become rich. You have to be willing to drive the old car, wear the plain t-shirt, and live in the small apartment while you stack your capital. You have to embrace the grind while your friends are out partying. They will laugh at you. They will call you cheap. They will say you are working too hard. Let them talk. 5 years from now, When they are asking you for a job, the conversation will be very different. The path from 1,000 to 10,000 is the test. It is the filter. If you cannot multiply a small amount of money, you will never be able to handle a large amount of money. If I gave you $1 million right now, and you have the mindset of a rat, you would be broke in 3 years. You would buy liabilities, you would get scammed, you would eat the seed corn. But if you learn how to grind 1,000 into 10,000 through skill, arbitrage, and sweat, you build the muscle. You build the character. You learn risk management, negotiation, sales, psychology. Those are the assets that no market crash can take away from you. So here is the pact. Here is what you are going to do. You are going to look at your bank account. You are going to find that seed capital. It might be 1,000. It might be 500. It doesn't matter. And you are going to make a vow. You are going to vow that this money will not leave your hands unless it is bringing back more money with it. No more coffee, no more takeout, no more new clothes, no more video games. You are going to enter a season of monk-like focus. You are going to pick a vehicle, flipping, servicing, or high-ticket selling, and you are going to attack it with violent execution. You are going to fail. You are going to buy a couch that doesn't sell. You are going to knock on a door and get yelled at. Good. That is the tuition. Pay it. Learn from it. Keep moving. I want to know who is real and who is just a tourist in the world of wealth creation. I want to know who has the stomach for this. If you are ready to stop being a battery for the system and start being the architect of your own life, I want you to leave a specific comment below. I want you to write, "I am the architect." Write it. I am the architect. This tells me you understand that you are building something, not just drifting through life waiting for a handout. The herd will scroll past. The rats will click on the next video about a celebrity scandal. But you are going to take that $1,000 and you are going to turn it into a weapon of mass liberation. The clock is ticking. The inflation is rising. The system is tightening its grip. What are you going to do? Are you going to stay in the maze, chasing the cheese? Or are you going to break down the walls? The choice is yours. Now get to work.